Who's there?
I think so. She's not one.
The clock on the wall says it's 3 o'clock, so I will call this meeting to order and ask that you stand and join in the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Shirley, would you call the roll? Here.
Koneski.
Here.
Paul. Here. Walker.
Here.
Brian Cruz.
Here.
Tom.
Yes.
Okay, under the meeting agenda for today for approval, consideration of approval, we have our regular committee reports. Item A, the Water Department, Lake Monthly Report. Item B, the Fire Department report. C is the Office of the Zoning Administrator's report. D, Planning Commission. E, Elections Committee. F, PEG. G is the Downtown Development Authority. H, Board of Review. I, the Sewer Project. Under unfinished business, item A, we have an update on possible land acquisition. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda for this afternoon?
I'll move that we accept the meeting agenda. I'll second.
Okay, motion by Hachinsky, second by Cruz to approve the meeting agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Under approval of consent agenda, we have item A, the minutes of the special board meeting held July 19th. B is the minutes of the closed session held July 19th of 2016. C is the financial report. D is approval of the township general fund expenditures, including the fire department. Those are checks numbered 33674 through 33776, with accounts payable totaling $38,454.50, and payroll totaling $13,173.78, for a grand total of $51,628.28. Item E is approval of the water department expenditures, and those are checks number 2275 through 2284. They total $9,877.55. Item F is approval of a budget amendment transferring $100,000 from the general fund balance to the township board professional fees. Under communications and announcements, we have item A, a letter dated July 8th of 16 from Paula Jones, the customer service representative with Utility Service Group, regarding water tower maintenance fees. Item B is a letter dated July 25th of 16 from Sarah Archer, President, Iris Waste Division Specialist, and Waste Diversion Specialist, and Tim Urban, Alliance for Economic Success, regarding Regional Resource Recovery Project. Any additions or changes to the consent agenda for today? If not, I would entertain a motion by Cruz, second by Kolanowski, to approve the consent agenda for today. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, under communications and announcements, basically the letter from Paula Jones is just kind of a clarification of our two contracts with Utility Service Group for the maintenance agreements on our water towers. And you've certainly by now noted that the Red Apple Road Water Tower has received a fresh coat of, well, a couple of fresh coats of paint, and some interior painting as well. And while they were here doing that, we also had our FILER City Road Water Tower inspected, and that inspection showed everything to be in good shape. So if there's any questions Item B is a communication from Sarah Archer and Tim Urban on a regional resource recovery project. We heard about that at the countywide MTA meeting last month. They presented information on it, and initially I was thinking when they started talking about recycling that it's a different kind of recycling, I guess, where they, like it says here, they, it says waste diversion, resource recovery, where they will look to put a lot of those things that they recover back in use. I don't know a great deal about it. A good example I think that they used was like, for example, picking up a mattress. It can be broken down and everything reused. And I don't remember at this point how they said, like, for example, the stuffing, if you will, the matting inside, how that's reused, but it was interesting. So that's something that's out there, and they're looking for participation from the different municipalities in the county. And they did recover, they did send a resolution along with their information. So that's something, if you choose to take action on it this afternoon, we could, or if you choose to study it a little bit further and take action on it at a later date, we can do that as well.
Well, we don't have a resolution together.
Well, yeah, we don't, it's a sample resolution. Sorry,
We have to-
that's true. We have to get a,
We need our own.
right, and have it all formalized and ready to go. But read that resolution and read the information there, and that's something that we may want to deal with potentially at our September meeting. Okay, public comment?
Kind of quiet back here.
Yeah. It's too hot for people to get out. Okay, under our department and committee reports, you have in your package your information from Wade Sherman's monthly report. And under fire department, Jim, you've got a...
We had a jump this week for one. He's had the previous commitment this afternoon, so we have finished up the fire department. So we had 36 emergency calls the month of July, 27 medicals, 1 fire, 4 gas odors, 3 auto crashes, and 1 false alarm. The couple of gas odors that we had were natural gas complaints at Madison School. They were having some difficulties with their stove over their kitchen, which was causing the pilot, they're getting a downdraft, causing the pilot to go out, which caused some gas over inside the school. So they took care of that. After the second call, they shut the gas off in the summer for that, for the stove there. So, this month, we're also going to have our annual safety and operational checks on our breathing apparatus, all our SCBA's. It's that time for them to get, they get checked by a company that comes in on August 11th. They put all of our apparatus on a machine that checks the mask seals, also checks for backflow preventers and the emergency bypass valves and all that kind of thing. So they do a safety inspection on those, and from that report, then we either have to take those units out of service and have them repaired, or if they all pass, then they're good to go. So, again, this year on August 13th, FILER Credit Union and Paxton Corporation will be sponsoring the annual 5K walk and run. All proceeds to benefit our fire department. We were involved in it last year. It was a lot of fun. So this is their second annual one, and hope to have a little bit bigger turnout. And if you get an opportunity to kids enjoy it. They dress up in costumes. It's called a hero walk around. So they dress up in their hero costumes, Supermans and Ninja Turtles and so on. And they do the walk, and we have the walk routed out right around Oak Hill area. And fire department does traffic control, make sure that no one gets hurt. We're there and standby. And the last item, if you haven't heard, we currently have the county heavy rescue unit in our station. It was dropped off there by the fire chief from Old Nakama without any notice. He was instructed by the county administrator to, after the county purchased it back. This is a long story, but the county owned it before they sold it to Old Nakama. Old Nakama ran it for 5 years. Discovered that they couldn't afford to maintain it any longer, so they wanted to sell it, and so they sold it back to the county. They brought it in, and the administrator told them to take it back to Onakama because the supervisor of Onakama said they could store it there until they figured out what they were going to do with it. The chief there decided that he would bring it to our station and drop it off, and just left it. I came home from Traverse City on Monday, and so getting ready to go to the fire meeting. There's a Jaws heavy rescue truck parked in the parking lot with the keys in ignition, and with no note, no call, no nothing. So, I had a conversation with Mr. Kaminsky and told him that we would secure it and keep it until they figured out what to do with it. So, the buyer that Onakama had for the truck originally for about $65,000, they backed out of that deal, so now they don't currently have a buyer for that truck. So I'm not sure what's going to happen to it. So, but County Board of Commissioners, they voted and they are in agreement that they want to sell the truck and possibly take the money from the proceeds of that truck and turn it back to the Revenue Sharing Board who bought the truck for the county a long time ago. With that money earmarked strictly for Jaws equipment, heavy lift equipment for the area fire department. So doesn't affect us a whole lot because we have a mutual aid agreement with Grant Township for their Jaws unit. So we should be all set in FILER Township as far as any auto crashes or anything like that. So we're involved because we're members of the association, but we're not involved because we have other resources that we are currently using for that particular service. So. But other than that, unless someone's got some questions.
How old are our apparatuses already?
It's cruising on about 8 years right now. So I think in about 2 years we're looking at possibly having to replace it again.
What are they, time frame, or are they just as long as they pass the inspection?
As long as they pass the test, but they get abused when you wear them into a fire and things, so they recommend that you look to replace them after 10 years. So the rubber gets checked and, on the face mask and the seals and that type of thing. So we can replace the mask, but we can replace parts of it and that type of thing, so we don't have to replace anything.
It's recommended by the,
NFPA.
yes.
Are they fiberglass tanks or aluminum?
They are fiber carbon wrapped aluminum tanks. They're lightest as they possibly can be, but then you're still wearing about 65 pounds a year when you're at a fire. So.
Anything else? Any other questions? Okay, thanks, Jim. Next, item C, the Office of Zoning Administrator, and you see that there wasn't a great deal of activity in July. Now, been on vacation, we've already had one land split request and 2 land use applications, actually 3. So the last week has been, actually, I think it was, I came in yesterday and there was a list waiting for me, phone calls, and applicants, so things are picking up right now a little bit. So at any rate, that's zoning administrator's report. And item D is we have the planning commission minutes in your packet. Shirley, is there anything you want to add to the planning commission?
Only that the minutes reveal there that the sign regulations amendments are finished and they're going to have a public hearing this month of August on those. At 6:45, just before the planning commission meeting.
Okay, thank you. Elections committee, I don't care which one of you three, if you want to speak to that at all.
This is the time, my wife's committee, we got everything done, it's ready to go.
Yep, we're all done.
Okay.
Election commission's all done, the election.
Did anybody use it this time?
Not that I am aware of. Well, actually, yes.
Are they all settled here?
I don't know.
Oh,
They weren't when I left. Some lady did put her ballot in there by mistake, so we had to get it out of there. She thought it was a tabulator. But I got it out and she put it in the right tabulator and everybody was happy then.
Okay, thank you. Peg?
Yeah, not too much happening right now because we have we have 3 members down. We're supposed to have 7, and we've got 4, so we're having a difficult time maintaining a quorum. Other than that, we've got 4 new DVD players. The other ones are starting to wear out after 11 years. I think we got our money's worth out of those. They still actually run, they're just not real dependable anymore. So that's pretty much all I have, if you have any questions.
Okay, thank you, Keith.
Uh-huh.
The DDA, item G, we have the meeting minutes from July, that's in your packet. And the DDA meeting for today, by the way, was canceled. There was not going to be a quorum. Item H, you have the board review meeting minutes.
I have a question.
Yes.
PRE, what does that stand for?
Principal residence exemption.
100% with homestead exemption if you live in your home.
So these were rentals before and now they're personal homes?
Well, in some cases it could be.
Or it could be people with 2 homes, 2 different locations.
Okay.
Okay. Sewer project, basically the main thing there is the first public hearing is scheduled for August 17th at 7 o'clock. That was noticed in the paper already, and the letters to the individual parcel owners are scheduled to go out today. I think that's about it.
We are getting some calls from people that want to look at the
Yeah.
prints.
Yeah,
We
that,
have them here now, and anybody is welcome to take a look at them.
so if anybody says anything to you about the drawings from Wade Trim, there's 23 pages total, are in Lynn's office. Public can come in and view those, so they're available. Okay.
And would you let Tammy know where those are? If I have an idea, before she's asked, because I did put them up on top of the file cabinet.
Oh, okay.
Both are working.
Yeah, that's right, okay. I was gonna say, she's not gonna be able to listen to
Yeah.
Okay,
And
and
put
she's
them
coming in
aside.
at what time?
I believe 9.
Okay, that's what I thought, because I already told one individual, I got another call, that they come in tomorrow after 9.
That's where I put them.
Okay.
How about the
Rick sent some contract language on that, to have those transferred, and according to the city, those are not mains, they're laterals, very long laterals. But he's put a quick claim deed, that's one way to go about transferring ownership of those. So I'm just waiting to hear back from him. I called yesterday, and he's going to be gone for several days to hearings, so he's not in the office. I'm going to hear back as to what response he got from the city attorney. But they've been in discussion. That's okay.
And the house over there, we're ready to go back to work on it?
Yeah, let me hold that thought on the right-of-ways. Give you an update on the one easement that we needed for the lift station there south of Fremont Plaza. And Richard was working with, I think as most of you know, with Chuck Keenan on that property. First of all, getting an easement, and then the possibility of purchasing that property. He had listed it, and so the latest email I got from Richard was July 29th, and on the 28th, he had received an email from Chuck Keenan, who wants to give all 3 parcels south of Kmart to the township, and then sell us the 4th parcel for $25,000. He's just waiting to get the property appraised and so forth, so that he can claim that tax deduction. So he's right now, from this email, it said that he's just waiting to hear back from him after he gets the property appraised. So that's where that stands right now, and that will be, that was, I think, the main easement that we were kind of waiting for. Although I did have a discussion with Richard today on another topic, and he mentioned that we may have to re-secure the easement of the family fair property, because that has changed hands again. And he wasn't aware of that, he just found that out this week, so.
I thought at one time somebody talked about having to go up Care Center Drive a little bit and get behind the credit union and then come down and tie into the city rather than use that right away. I know there was talk at one of our meetings about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that's at right now, Tom.
As far as the Gannon property, did Richard say anything to you about doing an environmental study on that to see that it's clean?
No, he hasn't. Maybe that's something that he should look into. I can't imagine any difficulties there with
I
that.
can't, but I
But
thought
just as
he
a
had
safety
mentioned
precaution.
that at one point, but I didn't know if it was to me, or if he had talked about that to you.
No.
And you're not mentioning it here, and that's why I'm wondering if
Yeah.
that needs to be brought up again.
I'll make a note of that. Talk with him about it. Okay. Now, what was your other question?
Pipe,
Uh,
who owns the pipe?
yeah, who owns the pipe?
Oh, you're talking about the laterals going to
Yeah, well, you already answered that.
Yeah. Okay, anything else under the sewer project? Any other questions there? Okay, and I guess under unfinished business item A, I just talked about that. in relation to the sewer project. So hopefully soon we'll have some information there. Possibly land acquisition, those parcels owned by Keenan right now. Okay, with nothing under new business, brings us to public comment. And again, no public, so. Any other business to come before the board this evening? Dean, do you have anything else?
No, I want to thank our fire department, though, because Uncle Richie called these guys came over. There was nothing wrong with Uncle Richie. Now Uncle Richie's in a hole, so that isn't going to happen. Again, but we thank the fire department.
Dale? Shirley?
Nope, only to report 740 voters, rather, 4 years ago we had 599. We thought we might have had a problem with our tabulator, but it's performed fine today when we did another test. So on we go to November.
Okay. Brian, do you have anything else?
Nothing.
No. Tom?
Yeah, we should work on that garbage millage rewriting so that we don't get in trouble with our garbage because the funding, we can't work on that.
Yeah, we are, but we're not in trouble with our garbage funding. No, it's just a bookkeeping change. And we will, now that the election is done, and we can sit down with Ruth and Kim and I, we can get that taken care
You're
of.
gonna be able to transfer that
Oh, yeah.
without any problem?
No, it will be a problem. We have to go back and find, Ruth will have to go back and find, do some digging, you know, as far as what the millage is. I have, it's been expensive roughly.
Okay.
We have to go back and find out what
Yeah.
I don't know why it was changed.
Okay, I just have a couple of things on the Building A or the Adamski House. I'm just wondering if the board would like to direct me to get a survey of that done so we know exactly what the property boundaries are. Right now, it's not crucial. When we get to the point where we want to put parking in there and handicap parking and so forth, I think we're going to need to know, because right now we don't know specifically what the boundaries are on that.
I'll make the motion on
I'll
that.
second.
Exact word.
Yep.
Because we're going to be out there doing a lot of different things.
Okay, motion by Cruz, second, motion by Dean Cruz, second by Brian Cruz, to direct the supervisor to hire a survey to be done on the 2111 Nelson Road property.
You don't have the parcel number there, do you?
I do not.
You know, we need to schedule, I'll right back in there to
Right.
finish that. And then I think there's some custom sheet metal work that,
And I've already contacted Custom Sheet Metal, and I need to get a hold of Bear Down Electric yet to
a lot of that stuff we paid for already.
Yeah. You got it?
Do you have a surveyor in mind?
I had thought about first calling Pat Bentley with the Spicer Group, being that he's local. You know, I know the fire department is using a surveyor from Wade Trim, and there's a little added expense because of travel with him. But we've approved a contract with Wade Trim to have that survey done. And, you know, I thought, well, we could use Wade Trim again, but I'm just thinking if we keep it local, it's probably going to be less costly. And certainly ease of access to any existing records and so forth. So I'm thinking of contacting Pat Bentley.
Then we'll know for sure what we have. We'll have a record of it and have it here.
Anything else? Ready to vote? Okay. All those in favor of the motion on the table signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. Thank you. Two other things I just wanted to mention, and I guess I've had more than one request from people and talking to people about just different things in the township. Our township park up here, Oak Hill Park, kind of dirty. Kids come home from there dirty and whatnot. We have sand around the equipment, but playground equipment, but there's still dirt and there's so much fallout from the trees, acorns and sticks and whatnot. And I've thought about it. We talked about it, in fact, at our Building and Grounds Committee on Monday of last week about the idea of putting wood chips around the playground equipment up here at the park. We just had a lot of wood chips spread out at Lagoon Creek. I've had positive comments on that. It looks good, it's clean. We talked about that at Building and Grounds, and I guess we'd like to get the board approval to go ahead and pursue that with Scott Mika-Whitecheck. Giving that a try. And the other thing that we talked about at Building and Grounds was beginning a program of replacing some of our playground equipment. If we can, try to replace one piece every couple of years or so. Some of our playground equipment is quite old. There's one newer piece up here. And it gets a fair amount of use up there. And I know I've had people tell me they oftentimes, even though they live in the township, they take their youngsters over to Stronach Park there. They've got a lot of really nice outdated playground equipment over there. So I guess I want some feedback from the board on that.
Well, that might be a thought, that when we acquire this new piece of property, put something in there, or if we're gonna do it family oriented, if we're gonna think of a walking area or campfire area, we might not put.
Well, I think, yeah, because you have, so people can cook down there.
Well, I guess we're talking about replacing old paths.
I'm just talking about replacement up here. That's something that I guess is different.
We do maintenance on that, or
No.
he should be checking.
Right.
John should be
Right,
checking.
he's doing the survey sheet and everything for safety. But that's something we'll probably at Building and Grounds maybe start researching and looking at equipment, and when we find a piece of equipment that we'd like to replace, then we'll come to the board and bring a proposal to the board. But just wanted to let you know that that's been under discussion. But as far as the wood chips,
I think we should do that.
I'd like to just try it to see if it works a little better than the sand, and I will get in touch
Dollar
with.
amount?
I know I haven't been in touch with Scott yet. I know with the project we just had done at Lagoon Creek, his only charge I think was for use of his equipment, hauling it. So I will get in touch with him and get a dollar figure.
First?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I don't have a dollar figure, but, okay, and the last thing I want is just to mention, if you haven't been out to Lagoon since the Boy Scouts finished their project out there, they did that finished it this past Saturday. Initially, I identified, 4 or 5 picnic tables out there with them that needed scraping, priming, and repainting. And then the same thing over here at Oak Hill Park. And they also were going to put in 2 benches out at Lagoon Creek. Well, they finished that project on Saturday. They had a really good work crew, and they were done by 1 in the afternoon. I went out there on Sunday then. I was gone downstate Saturday, so I wasn't able to be out there when they were working. So I went out Sunday. He texted me while I was gone to tell me they were finished, and so I went out there Sunday, and they did a wonderful job. They put in 2 new benches overlooking the lake. They painted all of the tables out there, the ones under the pavilion and the other picnic tables. They spread chips in the pavilion under all the tables, around the tables, and then throughout the park. The other picnic tables and benches, they spread chips around and underneath those, and the main path going to the pavilion, they spread the chips. And then with what they had left over, they spread chips along the trail that parallels the split rail fence along the bluff there. So they did a really nice job with the project. And then over here at the park here, they painted some of the benches and picnic tables there. They weren't able to paint all of them because as they started scraping and that, they found a couple of some of the boards were very punky and whatnot, so I went and checked them, and I had John just replace those. So he replaced boards, 3 bench boards on one of the benches there, and then one of the picnic tables, he did a complete replacement of the boards, and on another table, just the tabletop boards were replaced with. 2 of those were done with treated lumber, and it's still a little bit damp, so those are not painted yet. We'll wait, let it dry for another month or so in the warm weather, and then I told John that we need to get those primed and painted probably in early September before the weather changes. So, but it looks really nice, and the Boy Scouts did a great job. And this is their project report. There's a lot of pictures included out here at the Lagoon and a description of the report and everything. So I've got that. Feel free to take a look at it. Again, they did a really nice job and provided a great service for us and enabled this young man to earn his Eagle Scout badge. He will be leaving either at the end of this month or the first part of September to go into the service. And I have the Eagle Scout badge that puts him on another pay grade level. So that is a benefit for him.
What we want to do is send a letter
To
to the Boy Scouts.
Well, I will probably be attending a, when they have, I don't know what it's called, but some sort of a
Ceremony.
review board ceremony.
I might
thing.
see you there.
Well, they asked me about it, and I said I'd be happy to attend that. I told them to have.
Well, I'm usually on the other side.
Pardon me?
I'm usually on the other side. We'll see.
But yeah, I'd like to attend that.
Yeah, that's a good, it's a nice thing to look.
Yeah. And that's all I had, well, beyond our regular business. So if there's nothing else, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
And I'll second.
Motion by Hutchinski, second by Dean Cruz to adjourn. All those in favor?